three. Aurier as wide fullback on the right hand side, Reguilon on the left, and Ndombele, Højbjerg, Bergwijn, Harry Kane and Son make up the 11. You see it as a 3-4-3 almost then, Kevin?
Yeah, 3-4-3, 3-5-2, whatever way you... I mean, I think people get too caught up in systems, really. It's all very adaptable, but you probably will see Son playing further forward in support of Harry Kane today instead of coming from a wide area like he normally does.
Go through the Sheffield United sides in just a moment. Mopped up at the back by Tottenham. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 0. And Ramsdale in goal for Sheffield United today. Their back three of Ampadu, Egan and Basham. Ender Stevens in the left wing-back position. Jaden Bogle on the other flank. Fleck, Norwood and Lundstrom, the midfield three, and Oliver Burke and David McGoldrick up front. And Sheffield United in possession. John Egan clips the ball back to his goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale takes a step back and launches the ball up and over halfway. Eric Dyer comfortably underneath it for Tottenham. Touch now by McGoldrick inside the Tottenham half on the right hand side for Sheffield United, just 5 yards in from the touchline. And McGoldrick once again through the legs, in fact, of Ndombele. And Sheffield United building neatly on the right hand side now. Lundstrom cutting in field, wants the 1-2 played back to him. Instead, Tottenham bites in possession and Højbjerg will bring the ball away. Harry Kane with the touch and flicked forwards now towards Bergwijn. Bergwijn slides it out to his right hand side and Aurier gets his chin up and assesses the options inside, and Ndombele does likewise. Harry Kane 40 yards from goal, wants the ball played back to him. It very nearly was smuggled through to Harry Kane. Striker goal is palmed over the crossbar. Bergwijn it was with a hit, and Ramsdale with a strong right paw.
Yeah, that was bright from Spurs, wasn't it? Harry Kane at the heart of it, little one round the corner, lovely little back heel from Bergwijn, comes back to him. It's a good strike, isn't it? And it needed saving from Ramsdale, who tips it over the bar. Really good strike. That's heading for the top corner. Good save.
It certainly was. Goalkeeper scrambling away to his right hand side. Ball was moving in the air. Just diverted it over the top of the crossbar for a corner kick. First corner kick of the game for Tottenham. Son will take it on the left hand side, right footed. Takes three, now 4 paces back. He's glancing at the cluster of bodies inside the penalty area. Son set piece is delivered in, and Tottenham have the advantage. 4.5 minutes on the clock. And Tottenham have the breakthrough. Sheffield United sleeping. And Spurs take full advantage, Kevin.
Well, that's all too easy if you're a Sheffield United defender. It's a good ball in from Son, yes. But Bergwijn, there's nobody near him. And he just rises and just nods it in the goal. Ramsdale's in no man's land. He gets across the defender. And that's all too easy, Dave. Spurs take the lead. And you look at that goal and you think, no wonder Sheffield United are down the bottom of the table. It's poor defending. In fact, it's Aurier, isn't it? It's Aurier.
There was a cluster of bodies in there and Aurier got the final decisive touch. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1.
Well, that's just the start Chris Wilder didn't want for his team. Too easy. It's a good ball in, yes, but Aurier finds himself. It's just too easy. You can't defend like that. At the top level, at any level, you can't allow goals to go in like that.
Sheffield United with the ball on the right-hand side, but Tottenham nipping in with possession, and they're looking very positive and punchy going forwards. Tottenham, Sheffield United have just got to ride out this early storm. Tottenham, though, already with the advantage after 4.5 minutes. Goal from Serge Aurier for a corner kick was floated in from Son. Ball just trickles out of play on the right hand side for Sheffield United. They have a throw in midway through the Tottenham half. Collected now by Chris Basham. Basham cutting in field and flicking the ball to his right hand side, and Lundstrom's ball into the penalty area. Dealt with comprehensively enough from Tottenham. Højbjerg feeds it in towards Bergwijn. Bergwijn scampering up and over halfway. Harry Kane and Son peeling to his left hand side. Bergwijn instead finds support in the form of Serge Aurier. And Ndombele with the touch and the pace of the forward attack slightly more pacified by Tottenham, but a perfect start for Jose Mourinho and Spurs.
Yeah, they're controlling the game, Dave. They really are controlling the game at the moment, Tottenham. It's a real big pitch, Bramall Lane. Played there a few times. And you don't want to get a chasing on it, because once you start getting a chasing, it's very difficult to get a foothold in the game. Here we go again.
Harry Kane slides the ball through to Son. He's clean through on goal. It's a really cute finish, but it rattles the outside of the post and wide. Should have made it 2-0 Son, and he knows it. Expression on his face tells you everything you need to know. It's lovely weighted pass from Harry Kane. The movement from Son is superb. Those two dovetail so nicely. It's a cute finish, Son just lifting it over the advancing goalkeeper. But the score remains Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1.
Well, for me, he's got a score there.
Yep.
It's brilliant from Harry Kane again. Dropping off deeper position that he loves. Lovely little bit of play with Ndombele, wasn't it? Gets on the half turn. Fred Son in down that right-hand channel. He does the right thing, lifting it over Ramsdale. But it just finds the outside of the post. But at the minute, Tottenham are very impressive, aren't they?
It's all Tottenham so far. Have the advantage. Certainly momentum in their favour as well. Sheffield United in possession inside their own half. Out of play though for a throw-in for Tottenham on the left-hand side. Jose Mourinho on the touchline, pacing up and down, and very pleased at how his side have started the game. Hugo Lloris inside his own penalty area for Tottenham. Little triangles out of danger. Tottenham now with the ball inside the centre circle, and Harry Kane, whose touch is a little bit loose, and Højbjerg tried to retrieve possession. Instead it's slipped through, but Hugo Lloris comfortably gathers for Tottenham and immediately rolls the ball out as Tottenham launch another attack.
Good keeping that was. Lloris. Aurier got done with the ball inside him. Fullbacks, that should never happen, but he did. But he was out, wasn't he? Good keeping.
Gathered right on halfway for Tottenham and Ndombele. Ndombele to Harry Kane. Harry Kane can't quite keep the ball in play right on halfway. Be a throw in for Sheffield United, just shy of the halfway line.
We've had nearly 9 minutes, Dave, and you've got to say that Tottenham are by far the better team. They've been really impressive in these opening exchanges, haven't they?
Certainly have. Sergio Aurier scoring his second league goal of the season to give Tottenham the advantage, and then Son with a really good chance to make it 2-0, which he failed to take. At the other end though, Sheffield United tried to find a way through, but the free kick will go in Tottenham's favour, just outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, that was a foul, but the system at the moment seems to be suiting Spurs more than it's suiting Sheffield United. Sheffield United play it week in, week out, don't they? They don't revert from it, they don't change. Spurs occasionally go to it. I like it. It's a favoured formation of mine, and Tottenham seem to be playing it very well at the moment.
Tottenham in total control. Have a free kick deep inside their own half. Touch from Højbjerg. Højbjerg's actually robbed of possession. All of a sudden Sheffield United are coming down the left hand side inside the penalty area. Angle slightly acute, takes a deflection wide for a corner kick, and Sheffield United have their first corner of the contest.
Well, that's better, isn't it? Nick the ball off of Højbjerg. McGoldrick, lovely little reverse pass. They're in down the left hand side. Gets a strike off. Good defending in the end.
Corner kick then for Sheffield United. On the left-hand side, just over 10 minutes played. Blades trailing by a 1-0. Their first corner of the game. Movement inside the penalty area. It's swept in just beyond everyone. Header on is clipped up rather than out. Tottenham now will complete the clearance and scooped away for a throw-in for the home side. Midway inside the Tottenham half.
And that's a good header, wasn't it, from Basham? Got above his marker. It's heading towards the far corner. Comfortable head away, but much better from Sheffield United this.
Free kick goes in Tottenham's favour. Aurier is fouled right by the corner flag. 11 minutes on the clock. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. Goal from Serge Aurier on 4.5 minutes. The Son had swept a corner kick into the penalty area. Just a moment or two ago, header from Chris Basham, which was comfortably cleared away from danger. Hugo Lloris launches the ball up and over halfway. Joe Roden scoops it away and out of play. Will be a throw-in for Sheffield United. Spurs have not won at Sheffield United in 7 attempts, not since 1975. They've had the perfect start here at Bramall Lane though this afternoon.
Yeah, they certainly have. Sheffield United the last 3 or 4 minutes just growing into the game a little bit more.
Sheffield United in possession on the left-hand side. Inda Stevens trying to make things happen. Collected now by Oliver Burke, and the home side operating in tight spaces. Gathered now by Lundstrom. Lundstrom, the outside of his right foot, clips it to Chris Basham, who's being invited forwards. Basham back inside. It's a lunging challenge from Reguilon, just about gets away with it. Son now on the charge on the left-hand side, enters the penalty area. Son's ball into the box is scooped away and out of danger by Ampadu, behind for a corner kick for Tottenham.
Well, initially I thought that was a foul by Reguilon, the way he lunged in here. Let's have another look at
but Tottenham have bodies back there, and Reguilon goes down and wins a free kick for his side just outside the Tottenham penalty area.
Yeah, going back to that corner, you're not going to get a handball for that. I know they're appealing for it, the Tottenham players, but it literally was. It was whipped in, wasn't it? Low, flat, pacey delivery, and as the flick on came, it's just gone straight into the Sheffield United player's arm, but you're so close, you're not going to get a penalty for that.
Back to Hugo Lloris in the Tottenham goal. Tottenham playing themselves out of a tight spot inside their own penalty area. Son comes back to help out, and it's Reguilon now on the left-hand side. Fires it off Bogle and out for a throw-in for Tottenham.
As we say, Sheffield United are just settling down at the moment. Tottenham started the game really quickly and got that goal, and they're playing some lovely football, I have to say.
Ndombele to Eric Dyer. All of this being played just outside the Tottenham penalty area. Collected now by Højbjerg. Out of play it goes. Højbjerg suggesting the ball needs a bit more air in it. Jose Mourinho looks fairly confused on the touchline.
Does he ever smile, that man? Very rarely.
Maybe in private at home.
Yeah, very rarely.
Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. Sergio Aurier's goal after 4.5 minutes, giving Tottenham the advantage. Aurier into Harry Kane. Harry Kane wanted a free kick. Referee content for play to continue. In fact, now the whistle has gone, and Tottenham will have their free kick inside the Sheffield United half.
Yeah, quite an industrial challenge that was, wasn't it? He tried to let it go, Andre Marina, but no real advantage there for Tottenham. Ball in from Aurier. Harry Kane tries to flick it round the corner, and John Egan just letting him know he's there.
Coming up to 16 minutes played, Tottenham have a free kick. Score one, had a wonderful chance to make it 2-0 Tottenham as well when Son was clean through, slipped in by Harry Kane. Free kick now for Tottenham towards the back post, and McGoldrick gets just about enough on it, and Sheffield United now will complete the clearance. Lundstrom was in there, Højbjerg tussling too. Well, the frustration will be for Tottenham that they didn't take advantage of that opportunity to make it 2-0. Sheffield United have worked themselves back into the game slightly in terms of the flow of possession. Chris Wilder, shrug of the shoulders on the touchline, barks one or two instructions to his players. Launch forwards, Eric Dyer is underneath it and heads the ball up towards Harry Kane. Harry Kane's second touch is neat and tidy and plays it now towards Aurier. Aurier on the right hand side, up and over halfway. Touch from Son, and this time the ball is smashed out of play because McGoldrick is, well, he was down momentarily, gets back to his feet rather gingerly. That's pretty generous from Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean, he was lying flat out though, wasn't he, for about 20 seconds while the game continued. Amazing though, as soon as Tottenham smash it out of play, he gets up.
In dialogue with the referee Andre Marina.
But going back to that chance, Dave, for Son, I really think he chose the right option to lift it over the oncoming Ramsdale, but he had all the goal to aim at, so to hit the outside of the near post, he'd be really disappointed with that.
Son with 12 Premier League goals this season. Flip down the line for Tottenham, and Aurier's trying to latch onto the ball. 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, and the referee, well, he's content for play to continue, and Højbjerg's in possession midway inside the Sheffield United half. Reguilón now on the left-hand side. Son wanted it played to feet, didn't quite come to Son, and Sheffield United will look to bring the ball away. Strong challenge in the centre of the park from Fleck. A bit scrappy from the home side. Flick forward now, and Højbjerg's underneath it. So too is Eric Dyer, and there is a flag up for offside and a free kick for Tottenham inside their own half.
There's a little bit of Sunday League there, wasn't there? About a minute ago, 2 balls on the pitch. The lads didn't know what one to play with, and the ref's just waving play on while one of them kicks the other one off. Quite bizarre at this level.
Tottenham in possession. Just a solitary ball on the pitch now as we are up and underway once more. Eric Dyer to his left-hand side, and Ben Davies. Ben Davies feeds the ball in towards Son, right on halfway. Son to Højbjerg. Højbjerg back towards Eric Dyer. And Eric Dyer to his right-hand side, and it's all patient from Tottenham inside their own half. Touch from Ndombele. Back to Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer just opening up his palms, asking for a little bit more movement in front of him. Joe Rodon now into the feet of Ndombele. Ndombele with the outside of his right foot. It's a lovely pass in the direction of Aurier. He's got Son inside the penalty area. He's got Harry Kane in closer proximity. Harry Kane's cross goes up into the air. Bergwijn was also underneath it. Højbjerg with the touch. Collected now inside the penalty area. That's clever movement from Son. Son with the little pirouette was nice enough, but just couldn't poke the ball into the feet of Bergwijn.
They look dangerous, don't they, in and around the box, Spurs. Very clever 1-2 touch passing. And what about that ball from Ndombele outside of his right foot? Dissected that left-hand side of Sheffield United's defence just into Aurier's path. Wonderful play.
Tottenham in possession. Dyer goes out to the right-hand side to Rodon, who in turn gives the ball away pretty cheaply. Sheffield United win the ball back inside the centre circle, gathered by Lundstrom. Lundstrom trying to feed the ball through towards McGoldrick. Flag stays down. McGoldrick's just on the edge of the penalty area on the left hand side, cuts inside now, trying to find space to shoot. Bodies though being thrown in the proximity of the ball, and in the end the whistle's gone for offside. Free kick Tottenham.
That's where Sheffield United will get in when you play wing backs and they're high up the pitch. You can get in down the sides of the outside centre halves, and I'm sure Sheffield United will be looking to do that, getting down the side of Ben Davies, getting down the side of Joe Rodon as well.
Son now on the left hand side for Tottenham, making inroads. John Egan prods it away and out of danger.
So on the flip side, Spurs are also with Son and Kane getting in down the side of Sheffield United's outside centre halves as well. So it's quite an entertaining game.
Davies with the throw to the penalty area. The touch is slightly too heavy though, and out for a goal kick. Bergwijn just couldn't quite keep it in play. Jose Mourinho mutters something to himself on the touchline. He'll be keen, Kevin, to really see Tottenham capitalise on this, as you just mentioned a moment or so ago. You could just see with the pace and movement of Son that Sheffield United are concerned every time he peels left or right.
Yeah, but we all know that one is never enough, and the way Tottenham tend to just sit on one goal leads, they've come unstuck quite a few times by doing it. You'd really like to see them kick on, if you're a Spurs fan obviously, and go and get that second goal.
Tottenham have dropped points when leading at half time 5 times this season, most recently against Fulham last week. Sheffield United trying to make inroads now, just outside the penalty area. Striking goes charged down by Højbjerg, and Harry Kane will launch the counter now. He's got Son to his right hand side, he's got Højbjerg to his left hand side. Harry Kane goes down, that'll be a yellow card. Harry Kane's ankles were just clipped. Tottenham keen to get on with it though. Reguilón was scampering down the left hand side, but Andre Mariner had already blown the whistle and wanted to take it back, and Norwood goes into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, he's deceptively quick, Harry Kane, isn't he? He's a strong runner, is what I would describe him as. He's not electric, but he's a strong runner. Norwood couldn't get back at him there, and that's what they call taking one for the team. It's a tactical foul, but it's earned him a yellow card.
Free kick for Tottenham, leading by a goal to nil. Højbjerg and Son both standing over it. It's slightly too far out for the strike on goal, you feel. Son instead will just sandwich the ball towards Eric Dyer at the back post, back across the face of goal, and it's sliced out of play for a corner kick for Tottenham on their right hand side. 23 minutes played. Tottenham's goal after 4.5 minutes came from a corner kick, albeit on the other flank.
Good ball there, back post, headed across by Dyer. In the end, it's good defending from the captain, John Egan. Hooks it out for a corner to Tottenham now on that right hand side.
Corner kick for Tottenham. Son will take it. Højbjerg, Aurier and others inside the penalty area for Tottenham. Son's corner kick is swept in. Goalkeeper Ramsdale gets a good punch on it. Højbjerg will mop up on the left-hand side. Instead, he just lets the ball trickle out of play for a throw-in for his side. Past the midway point in the first half. Højbjerg leaves the throw for Reguilon. And the Spaniard will take it. And Ndombele gathers on halfway, and Ndombele just about kept his balance. Ben Davies fizzing the ball down the left-hand side, but Sheffield United back in possession. Eric Dyer will mop up for Tottenham.
Good defending, Eric Dyer. He reads the game so well. I know he likes playing in midfield as well, but for me, he's a centre half. He understands that position. Covered Davies, who'd got sucked into the ball, just covered on the outside of him.
Son wanted a free kick. Throw in has gone in favour of Sheffield United. Jayden Bogle will take it. Collected now by Chris Basham. Launch forwards to no one in particular, and Hugo Lloris will comfortably gather the 34-year-old Frenchman. Tottenham enjoying the lion's share of possession. Eric Dyer, the ball at his feet just outside the penalty area. Game being played almost at walking pace now. Eric Dyer looking to shift through the gears, place it into the feet of Son. Højbjerg gathers, and a little bit more space now for Tottenham to work with. And Ndombele gathers just over halfway, back inside towards Højbjerg inside the centre circle. Flicks it out towards Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Reguilon floats the ball, looking once more for the run of Ben Davies. However, a free kick has been awarded for Sheffield United.
That's good defending from Chris Basham. A little bit like Eric Dyer a couple of minutes ago. Reads the danger, reads the ball down the side, down the outside, down the right hand side of their defence. Comes across, good defending, gets his team a foul, gets his team a free kick, should I say.
Coming up to 26 minutes played. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. Serge Aurier's goal after 4.5 minutes. Tottenham with another great opportunity through Son. Chances few and far between really for the hosts. Harry Kane right on halfway, tussling for it. Eric Dyer will mop up at the back now for Tottenham. Game's just got a little bit scrappy. Son had a touch of the ball, but the free kick goes in favour of the hosts. Collected by Ampadu. Ampadu gives the ball away, and Højbjerg now's got space inside the centre circle. Harry Kane's peeling away through the middle. Højbjerg just couldn't quite make his mind up, and actually couldn't retain his balance either. Eventually Tottenham do retain possession. It's back with Højbjerg. Just glances to his right hand side, nudges the ball towards Ndombele, and Ndombele twisting and turning inside the centre circle. And Ndombele pointing, saying he wants a little bit more width. Ben Davies gathers now for Tottenham. Eric Dyer to his right hand side. Højbjerg now on halfway. Højbjerg with a touch around the corner. It's a clever one. Bergwijn to Ndombele.
They've been so good in possession, haven't they, Spurs? Really good. Passing's crisp. A great run there from Son. Just wasn't seen, was it, by Dyer?
Towards Harry Kane. Ndombele feeds it to his right-hand side. Højbjerg might fancy a strike on goal here. Instead shifts it towards Aurier. Aurier wanted the 1-2. Bergwijn back to Ndombele. Ndombele once again in possession. Bergwijn now. Bergwijn operating in a very tight space just outside the penalty area. More space for Tottenham now. Reguilon to Son. Son on the left-hand side. Enters the penalty area, Son. Son couldn't quite find a teammate with the ball flicked inside with his right foot, and the move breaks down for Tottenham. Sheffield United down the right-hand side, though. McGoldrick is sprinting inside the penalty. That's really well covered, actually, by Roden.
Yeah, read the danger well. He was away there with McGoldrick, wasn't he? But Roden, Tottenham's back three, been covering each other brilliantly all afternoon.
Sheffield United once again in possession. We're inside the Tottenham half. Played towards Burke. Burke has a strike on goal, but it's very comfortably into the gloves of Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, tame. But better. You just feel that every time Tottenham up the tempo of their play, they get in, don't they? It's been so crisp the way they've played this opening 28 minutes.
Eric Dyer inside his own penalty area. Back to Hugo Lloris. Playing his 278th Premier League game for Tottenham. And Ndombele just outside the centre circle. Tottenham still in possession. Eric Dyer looks up and feeds the ball in towards Ndombele. Ndombele skips inside, wants a free kick. Referee had a good look of it, just had a shrug of the shoulders and says no. Sheffield United now in the form of John Fleck. Fleck looks at the options that he had skating in front of him, one of which was Lundstrom, but didn't quite come off, and Tottenham will bring the ball away with Ndombele.
I thought it was a foul, wasn't it? Ref played on. Sheffield United got the ball but didn't use it well enough, and Spurs get it back.
That will be a free kick for Tottenham midway inside their own half, just shy of half an hour played. Tottenham in possession. Bit of the momentum though, perhaps, Kevin, just waning slightly with Tottenham very, very comfortable, almost too comfortable on the ball inside their own half.
Yeah, the game's slowed down, hasn't it? Like I said, as soon as Tottenham do up the ante and speed the pace of the game up, Sheffield United can't live with them, and I'm sure Jose will want that to happen more often than it has. It's just happening in little fits and starts at the moment. But they're most certainly the better team, Spurs. Yeah. And it is, as you say, Dave, pretty comfortable for them, isn't it?
Tottenham with their 20th goal scored in the first half of a game this season. Searching more goals here as Son on the left-hand side looks to pick up on the pieces. It's well dealt with, though, at the back by John Egan, who launches the ball up and into the stands.
He's quick, isn't he, John Egan?
Yep.
You've got to deal with Son.
Harry Kane works the ball neatly enough. Davis to his right-hand side, and Ndombele might fancy this one. And Ndombele was trying to be very clever and slide the ball through. I think Bergwijn was the player to who it was intended for. Didn't quite come off. Nice idea.
It was a nice idea. I think everyone, including myself, thought, go on, shift it one more out to Aurier, but he didn't. Everyone was moving across, and he tried a little cute ball down the centre of the pitch, but just got cut out. But bright.
Tottenham in possession. Bergwijn to Aurier. Now Ndombele inside the Sheffield United half. Ndombele feeds it towards Aurier, and there were one or two suggestions the ball had gone out of play. Not so, though. Play continues. There's three players inside the penalty area now for Tottenham, one of which is Harry Kane. Harry Kane twisting and turning and ultimately committing the foul.
Good play again. Down that right-hand side. A lot has gone down Tottenham's right-hand side. And again, it's Aurier overlapping, getting a ball into Harry Kane, but his first touch just let him down, which is unusual for him, and he ends up committing a foul.
Coming up to 32 minutes played. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. Ramsdale launches the ball towards McGoldrick. Out of play for a throw-in for Sheffield United. Roden had just nodded the ball out of play. And Stevens will take it now for the home side. Scooped up towards McGoldrick. McGoldrick lays the ball off. Sheffield United in possession. McGoldrick's touch inside. All the Tottenham players stopped playing because they felt the flag should go up, and indeed it did. And Stevens had just wandered offside. Free kick Tottenham.
Yeah, good line. Both Tottenham's wing backs were back there, so almost a back five. He just wandered behind him, as you say, and caught in an offside position.
You can see Jose Mourinho just pacing up and down his technical area. If that goal goes in from Son, Kevin, do you think Jose Mourinho's probably sat down at this point a little bit more comfortable?
I think he would be. At the moment, you really can't see him. We spoke about it, didn't we, before? The lack of firepower, really, that Sheffield United possess or don't possess. And at any given time when Tottenham attack, well, there's trouble here if he gets this in.
Here is Oliver Burke on the left-hand side. Did have Lundstrom inside the penalty area. Burke goes himself across the face of goal beyond everyone ultimately. And it will just roll out of play for a Tottenham throw.
But they've got willing runners.
Yeah.
That's Oliver Burke. He's been in a few times and he's quick, isn't he? And for me, that's a really good ball in with the outside of his foot. But they just don't possess the numbers to get in the box. McGoldrick to Burke down the outside. Dyer gets across, but Burke shows him a clean pair of heels. See you later. And look at that. They've only got two in the box and they're arriving too late.
Ball is gathered by Aurier, the goal scorer. Tottenham with 70% possession in the game so far. Sheffield United trying to make inroads though midway inside the Tottenham half. Collected by Lundstrom, who just flicks the ball to his right-hand side, and Basham goes back inside. All of this around 10 yards outside the Tottenham penalty area, who have lots of bodies back. Norwood wedges the ball out to his left-hand side. Gathered now by Fleck. Fleck is just asking one or two players to come slightly tighter to him. Wanted the 1-2 with Stevens. Didn't quite come off, though. On the edge of the penalty area. And Roden with the initial block. It's cleverly worked. McGoldrick's inside the penalty area. McGoldrick with the snatch and strike. Enough Spurs players back there though to alleviate the danger, and now they will seek to launch a counter. Reguilon scampering over halfway. He's got Harry Kane to his right hand side, finds Harry Kane now. Harry Kane tried to feed the ball back into the path of his teammate, didn't come off though. Opportunity fades away.
Well, how rapid is Reguilon, by the way?
Yeah.
And Harry Kane will be disappointed with himself, because I don't think that was a difficult ball back to Reguilon. And he manages to get it cut out, but he's so quick. He's been an excellent signing for Tottenham.
Ender Stevens plays the ball into McGoldrick. Out of play for a Sheffield United throw. 10 minutes to play before half time. McGoldrick just a moment or two ago inside the penalty area. Eric Dyer, very strong left leg to alleviate the danger. But this is a better passage of play for Sheffield United. Opportunity for the striker goal was comfortably gathered by Hugo Lloris. It was John Fleck who took it on.
But you're right, it is better. They're getting around the box, they're using the ball better. Good from Fleck. Straight down Lloris's throat, if you like, but much better the last 5 minutes.
And Dobbele gathers for Tottenham. And Dobbele once more, just ahead of his three centre-backs. Dombele just outside the centre circle. And Dombele flicks it to his right-hand side. Eric Dyer now just shy of the centre circle. It's all very, very patient indeed, this from Tottenham. Do you think Jose Mourinho will want a little bit more urgency in his side? He knows the Sheffield United can be vulnerable if they can get the ball into Kane and Son.
Yeah, I think so. They are controlling the game.
Sure.
I have to say that. They are controlling the game, Tottenham. But I would like to see them, when they do shift into top gear, Sheffield United can't live with them.
Yep.
But like we say, it's just been in patches, isn't it, Dave?
Yep. There's certainly the sense that every time Son can get a bit of space to work with, really fancies his chances one-on-one in the final third. Collected by Reguilon. It's a really nice touch just over halfway. Cleverly done by the Spaniard. Son now collects just outside the penalty area. Son's got options inside the box. Fizzes it towards Harry Kane at the back post. It's scooped up. Harry Kane will tussle for this one. There are appeals for a foul against Harry Kane. Referee allowed play to continue, and in any case, Ender Stevens smashes the ball away for Sheffield United. But just a demonstration of Tottenham having a bit of joy down the left-hand side as well, Kevin.
Yeah, how good is Reguilon, or how good has he been today? Just lifted it over the Sheffield United player's head into Son, and then he doesn't stop there. He gives Son another angle, gets round the outside of him, takes the defender away, which allows Son to put in a real dangerous ball that Sheffield United struggled to clear. But it's that tempo that when they play at that tempo, it's what the hosts, they just can't live with it.
Bergwijn is chopped down by Ampadu. Free kick Tottenham.
And Aurier's screaming as well there. I think someone probably trod on his foot. What a ball that is in from Son.
Yeah.
It's good defending from Ampadu, because he has to get something on it. If he doesn't, that's a tap-in for Harry Kane.
Free kick Tottenham. So we nudge towards half-time. Tottenham once again, patient possession inside their own half. And there's another yelp of pain. This time it's the Welshman Joe Rodon who goes down, clutching his right ankle. It's a pretty industrial challenge from Oliver Burke, who has let a bit of frustration get the better of him there. He's lucky to escape a booking.
I'm not sure why he's holding his ankle though. He's just barged into him, hasn't he? He's nowhere near his ankle.
Eric Dyer feeds the ball to his right hand side. Tottenham now in possession inside the Sheffield United half. Bergwijn to Ndombele. Ndombele pings the ball out to the opposing flank. Reguilon now considered the first time ball into the penalty area. Reguilon shifts it to his right hand side. Højbjerg might fancy a ping. Instead he clips the ball towards the back post. It's comfortably gathered by Ramsdale.
He needs to shoot more, Højbjerg. Yeah. He really does, because he has good technique. He's got a great strike on him. He just would rather pass it, wouldn't he, in those areas?
He's had a couple of moments like that. Harry Kane now not shy of shooting. Harry Kane with the effort, and Harry Kane with the goal. And Tottenham double their advantage in quite some style. And you'd have to say, on the balance of play, the manner in which they've attacked, it is the least that the visitors deserve. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 2. It's Harry Kane again.
Yeah, very, very good goal from Tottenham. That man, Harry Kane. They get the ball back. They try and play out Sheffield United. They get caught. Son hunting the ball down. Then Højbjerg hunting the ball down. They get it back. Harry Kane into Reguilon. Round the corner. And look at that. He receives it on the half turn. It's a poor attempt at a tackle from Basham. And once Basham misses Harry Kane and he's on the half turn, look at that. Receives it. Gets away. And he just arcs it past Ramsdale. Brilliant finish from Harry Kane. And Spurs lead 2-0.
It's funny, Kevin, you were just talking a moment or two quite correctly that Højbjerg was a bit shy of shooting, and he had 2 or 3 opportunities in the opening 40 minutes of this game to take the strike on. None of that from Harry Kane. One sighted goal. There was only one thing he was going to do, put the ball in the back of the net.
I think it was quite brilliant from Harry Kane, really. The way he received the ball on the half turn and turned and took it forward, all in one touch. I think it's a poor attempt at a tackle from Basham, to be honest. And then as soon as Harry Kane gets near the edge of the box, you know what he's going to do. He's going to feed it into that far corner, or attempt to feed it into that far corner. And it's a great finish. And Tottenham now, you would say, are in total control of this game.
You sense, Kevin, this is a dangerous little 4-minute period now just before half-time for Sheffield United. They want to still be in the game at the start of the second half.
Yeah, if they concede again before half-time, then that is game over. But I would like to see, if they go in 2-0 up, for Tottenham fans all over the world, don't take your foot off the gas. Don't allow Sheffield United back into it. You know, they've rarely threatened this afternoon, but if you sink deep and you invite pressure, they will threaten.
Yeah. Sheffield United in possession. Norwood midway inside the Tottenham half goes to Fleck, and in fact it comes back to Norwood. Oliver Norwood placed the ball to his right hand side, and now it's gathered by Lundstrom. Lundstrom feeds the ball back in field. It's clipped towards the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. McGoldrick feeds it into the box. Fleck now gathers on the left hand side. Touch back was an inviting one. Norwood's 35 yards from goal. Norwood feeds it towards Lundstrom. Lundstrom trying to angle the ball into the penalty area. It's dealt with though by Tottenham at the back. Appeals for handball. Referee says no. Gathered again by Lundstrom. Lundstrom feeds it in towards Norwood. Norwood looked at his options to the left-hand side, instead went to his right. McGoldrick clips the ball forwards. McGoldrick perhaps wanted it back. Tottenham biting into the challenges, but Sheffield United still in possession. A bit of sustained possession as well. Home side working the ball neatly enough, but everyone back for Tottenham, and Sheffield United trying to prise away through. Ball is fizzed into the penalty area. It's cleverly worked. Eric Dyer had to launch himself at the ball because Basham now scoops it towards the back post, and Aurier dealing with the danger behind for a corner kick.
Much, much better from the home team. Retained possession, didn't get bored of the ball, worked it one side to the other, waited for an opportunity. That's a great ball in from Basham, and eventually it falls to Bogle. It's a good strike. Ball in, and Aurier heads it away for a corner, but that was much better from the hosts.
Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 2. 43 minutes played. Corner kick beaten away by Hugo Lloris. Sheffield United, though, with bodies still forward inside the penalty area. Harry Kane's back there for Tottenham. Out of play for a throw-in for Sheffield United. Midway inside the Tottenham half.
Brilliant in both boxes, Harry Kane. Worth his weight in gold, a centre-forward that can come back and defend set pieces like he does.
Tottenham dealing with the ball just outside their penalty area. Harry Kane wins a throw for his side just over halfway. So we approach half-time. The balance of chances created, really. Probably a fair result as it stands, Kevin.
Yeah, I think in general Tottenham have been in total control of this game. They've played at the tempo they want to play at, whether that's been fast or slow. Sheffield United have done okay in patches,
yep,
but it's glaringly obvious they need to be better at the top end of the pitch.
Home-sided possession inside their own half. On the left-hand side now, McGoldrick wanted it played to him. Instead, Ender Stevens nearly gathered, but Tottenham might fancy this on the counter. Flicked towards, well, Son was the intended target, didn't quite come to him, and Sheffield United can mop up. 44 minutes played. Fizzed rather aimlessly forward for Sheffield United. That's the difference really in the final third. Yes, Sheffield United have had plenty of possession at times in patches, but really it's how dangerous Tottenham look as opposed to how weak really Sheffield United look in terms of cutting edge in that final third.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Dave. That's the way I've seen it. When you get in that top end of the field, Spurs just possess such quality, don't they? And no disrespect to Sheffield United's players, but they're just not quite at the same level. They work it well, like we say. They've played and matched Tottenham in terms of possession at times, but there's just no potency up the top end.
2 minutes of additional time to be played at the end of the opening 45. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 2. Lundstrom trying to make things happen for Sheffield United. Of course, got their first win of the season against Newcastle last time out in the Premier League. Going to need something special in the second half here. Oliver Norwood feeds the ball towards Basham. Basham cleverly worked, and Bogle now on the right-hand side. Bogle's cross is charged down by Ben Davis and behind for a corner kick, which will pretty much be the last action of the first half.
Yeah, well worked again. They're getting in wide areas, and when they do, the balls into the box need to be better, and they need to start filling the box with red and white shirts a lot quicker than they have been. But it's a decent end to the half for Sheffield United. They've been okay. They've always been in games, but today you do feel they could be out of it.
Corner kick taken for Sheffield United right in the last few seconds of this first half, and it's swept by John Fleck, but behind for a goal kick for Tottenham, and that'll pretty much be that at the end of the opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's a waste. It's a wasted ball. Just put that into a dangerous area, trying to whip it too hard. Just put it into an area. But that could be that, couldn't it? That's half time.
Thoroughly satisfactory first half performance from Tottenham. A couple of goals to show for it. And Hugo Lloris knows that with the resumption of this goal kick, referee Andre Mariner will blow the whistle for half time. Well, it just allows another few seconds to be squeezed out of this first half. And there does go the whistle for half-time. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Serge Aurier scoring after 5 minutes. Corner kick from Son. And let's take a look now at the highlights from that first half. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Impress Lost Tribes people of the Andes by demonstrating the new updated Talk Sport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at talksport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, texts, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to talksport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new Talk Sport swimming pool. Golf! No running there, boy! But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action.
Weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Doug, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double-strength drive time radio.
Shall I stay?
I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay?
Drive time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on Talk Sport.
Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs on Sport. Talk Sport. It's the double-O duo on the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksby and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of the horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got Pussy Galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksby and Jacobs, shaken but not stirred. Weekday afternoons from 1 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Confuse bookmakers, impress football agents and entertain the kids with the improved Talk Sport app. Totally fun, totally free, totally football. Download it now from talksport.com. Hey, kids, take me mobile and go over there and play or something. Don't press the button that says Tinder. Talk Sport.
Well, half-time at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Let's listen to how those opening 45 minutes unfolded. You're listening to Premier League Live. Son set piece is delivered in, and Tottenham have the advantage. 4.5 minutes on the clock. And Tottenham have the breakthrough. Sheffield United sleeping. And Spurs take full advantage, Kevin.
It's Aurier, isn't it? Ramsdale's in no man's land. He gets across the defender, and that's all too easy, Dave. Spurs take the lead, and you look at that goal, and you think, no wonder Sheffield United are down the bottom of the table. It's poor defending.
Harry Kane slides the ball through to Son. It's clean through on goal. It's a really cute finish, but it rattles the outside of the post and wide. Should have made it 2-0 Son, and he knows it. Expression on his face tells you everything you need to know. It's lovely weighted pass from Harry Kane. The movement from Son is superb. Those two dovetail so nicely. It's a cute finish. Son just lifting it over the advancing goalkeeper.
He does the right thing, lifting it over Ramsdale, but it just finds the outside of the post. But at the minute, Tottenham are very impressive, aren't they?
But the score remains Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 1. Harry Kane now not shy of shooting. Harry Kane with the effort, and Harry Kane with the goal. And Tottenham double their advantage in quite some style. And you'd have to say, on the balance of play, the manner in which they've attacked, it is the least that the visitors deserve. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 2. So Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2 at half-time. Goal scored from Serge Aurier and Harry Kane, and very much deserved at half-time, Kevin.
Yeah, they've been the better side, haven't they, Tottenham? They've dictated the pace of the game, whether that's been quick or whenever they've decided to slow it down. Sheffield United have done okay, but the reason they're down the bottom is they don't score enough goals. They've got into some okay areas and troubled Spurs at times where they just don't look like they're going to score a goal.
And Tottenham really feel in the final third. At times it's almost like they're in third gear. If they really wanted it, there are more goals in the second half for them.
Yeah, there certainly is. And you look at it and you think, go on, play a bit quicker, but they're just content, aren't they? They're picking and choosing their moments. I think Reguilon's been outstanding down this left-hand side. Aurier too, the two wing-backs for Spurs, getting forward at every opportunity. But yeah, if Tottenham up it could be anything.
Certainly Tottenham, they've had a patchy few weeks, obviously dropped a lot of points from winning positions, but make no mistake about it, if they win today, it just changes the narrative slightly, and then they are right in contention in the title race.
Yeah, would have jumped up to 4th as we stand, 3 points off the lead. So if Liverpool go and get a result against Manchester United, then that remains 3 points, and they're banging it, aren't they? So it's an important result if it's to stay this way for Spurs and puts them back in the hunt, yeah.
What do you think of the Tottenham formation and the way they've lined up, almost a match-up against Sheffield United? The right call, I suppose, 2-0 leading at the break.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. The way Jose's probably looked at it is, we'll match them up. We have better players. It literally could be as simple as that. And at the moment, on the evidence we've seen, that's exactly what's happening.
It's hard, isn't it, for Sheffield United in terms of the quality that they're up against, really, against Tottenham. They've been moments, they've been passages in the final third, but just lack that cutting edge.
Yeah, as we said, they're getting to a point, they're okay. I call it tee to green, so box to box, play the game there, yeah, okay. They play out, they play some nice stuff, play through the middle, and then it all just seems to peter out. I think if they had a goal scorer, a 20th season man, then they wouldn't be in as much trouble as what they are at the moment.
Really big clash coming up after this one, Liverpool against Manchester United from Anfield. It's always a special game. Let's listen now to the Liverpool boss, Jurgen Klopp.
Winning a football game and winning against United it's enough. It's itself. So there's not necessary that there's a special add-on. So we play at home against United and we want to win. So that's all we have to think about. There's no extra add-on in that game because they're in the situation they are. They got the points, they deserve the points they have so far, and we have ours, and the season is still a long way to go, so it's not really in it that we talk now constantly about if we win we are ahead of them again and then they are up, blah blah blah. How it looks in the moment with all how the football they play again. Man City is 1 game behind and is very close as well, so you have constantly to think about other teams. We don't do that. We just try to win our football games, and for this we need to perform on our highest level because United is good, they always were. And that's it.
So Liverpool against Manchester United up a little bit later, Kevin, and Jurgen Klopp, I wouldn't say there's questions. I mean, what he's achieved in the last few years has been absolutely sensational with Liverpool, but just a bit of a tricky period, really, falling below the very, very high levels they've set, especially the last 2 seasons. Yeah,
I mean, but they're still up there. They're still only 3 points off the lead, and they're missing key players, like you said at the start of the show. They'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. You can't sustain the levels that they have for so long without them just dropping a tad at times, and that's all it is. They're a very good team, they've got excellent players, he's a superb manager, and in my opinion and many people's opinion, when push comes to shove at the end of the season, they will be there or thereabouts.
Liverpool against Manchester United then up a little bit later on. This contest, Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. For Sheffield United, obviously they got their first win of the season coming into this encounter, and really it's difficult to be too critical, I suppose, of the Sheffield United side, and you must have come up against it in your career when you just sense that the 11 you're facing just have that superior quality, and it's just hard at times to keep pace with them at the vital moments.
Well, it is. You can line up, you can be tactically astute, you can do whatever you like. Sometimes you come up against teams that are just better than you. That's human nature. And I think today, and it's happened quite a lot this season, the Sheffield United team are coming up against 11 individuals that in general play are better than them. And again, it's no disrespect to these Sheffield United boys. I look at them and I think, do you know what that is? It's almost like a very, very good championship team they have. So no surprise when you see the goal that they conceded as well from the corner was absolutely terrible defending. It's no surprise to see them down where they are when they have a group of players that for me are not quite top level.
Do you think they keep the core of the squad then, assuming they do go down this season and play the championship next term?
I would like to think they do, yeah. I'd like to think they do, because obviously it's an easier league than the Premier League. It's still a very tough league, the Championship. But if they keep a core there, and obviously that depends on contract situations, etc., then bounce back, and then hopefully when they bounce back, they can add to the squad.
Half time here at Bramall Lane. It is Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2, and you are listening to Premier League Live.
TalkSport.
Impress lost tribespeople of the Andes by demonstrating the new updated TalkSport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at TalkSport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, text, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to TalkSport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new TalkSport swimming pool. Goff, no running there, boy. But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action.
Weekday mornings from 10 on TalkSport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Doug, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double strength, drive time radio.
Shall I stay?
I don't like listening to him, I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay?
Drive time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on TalkSport.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs on Sport. TalkSport. It's the double O duo of the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksbee and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of the horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got pussy galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksbee and Jacobs, shaken but not stirred. Weekday afternoons from 1 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
Confuse bookmakers, impress football agents, and entertain the kids with the improved TalkSport app. Totally fun, totally free, totally football. Download it now from TalkSport.com. Hey, kids, take my mobile and go over there and play or something. Don't press the button that says Tinder. TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Tottenham Hotspur from Bramall Lane. I'm your host, David Windsor, and alongside me is the former Reading and Tottenham midfielder, Kevin Watson. This is Premier League Live. Well, Kevin, I think we know what we might expect from Tottenham in this second half, given the 2-0 lead that they have and will seek to preserve. But what would you like to see? Would you like to see Mourinho take the shackles off slightly? I know it's not quite his style, but certainly there's goals to be had in the second half for Tottenham should they want them.
Yeah, I would like to see him do that. I'd like to see him say, go out, continue to play the way you're playing, up the tempo a little bit because they can't live with you when you do, and go and, set a precedent for the rest of the season. Show the other teams, put a marker down.
We're seconds away from kick-off at the start of the second half. A header from Serge Aurier on 4.5 minutes, and then Harry Kane scoring Tottenham's seconds to create a bit of daylight between the two sides. No changes at the start of the second half, and Jose Mourinho just stands on the touchline, arm outstretched with his watch ready and poised to sync up with Andre Mariner, the referee. For Sheffield United, Kevin, as we get up and underway at the start of the second half, it's a big ask. They don't really want to throw caution to the wind, trying to get back into the game and end up losing 5 or 6.
No, it is difficult. It is difficult. 2-0 is a funny scoreline. I think we all know that. Next goal, if there is to be one, is going to be pivotal in the game for me. I think if Tottenham get that third goal or the next goal, then they go on this, and the score could be anything. Yep. Sheffield United get it, they'll have a go, the towels will be up, and the game could change. But at the moment, I don't see it changing. I see Tottenham in full control.
Tottenham in possession on their left-hand side, fed down towards, it was intended towards Son, didn't quite come off. John Egan gathers now for Sheffield United, and Sheffield United trying to play themselves out of a tricky spot. Instead, though, Tottenham regather possession. Ndombele was trying to fizz the ball in towards Son. He's rather frustrated with himself. And Sheffield United have the ball on the left-hand side. McGoldrick peels away to that left-hand side, just assesses what's on option in front of him inside the penalty area. Joe Rodon, though, was there to alleviate the danger for Tottenham.
Well, both teams are getting in down the sides, the outside centre halves, and that's what you'd expect when wing-backs are pushed on. Tottenham have just made so much more of it than Sheffield United have when they've got in those areas, though.
Sheffield United fling the ball into the penalty area. It's a header, in fact, from Jayden Bogle, who comes steaming into the penalty box over the crossbar.
Well, that's a much better ball in, isn't it?
Yep.
Send to Stevens on his lovely left foot that he has. Good skill. Beautiful cross, and Bogle arrives. That's what wing-backs are meant to do. One wing-back to the other, but he just couldn't keep his header down.
Over a minute and a half played at the start of the second half. Tottenham with a goal kick, and Hugo Lloris plays it out to his right-hand side. Rodon goes long towards Harry Kane, who tussles for it. All out of play for a throw-in for Tottenham. Harry Kane scoring his 12th goal of the Premier League season to go level with Son, also on 12.
Which is excellent for my fantasy team, Dave, because he is my captain.
Well, that's what matters.
That's all that matters, yeah. But probably many others' captain as well.
Eric Dyer striding out from the back for Tottenham. He's got all the time in the world to make a decision whether he goes left or right. Eric Dyer once again on the ball for Jose Mourinho's men. A wedge forward towards Bergwijn. Son applying the pressure, but Sheffield United in possession, right on the edge of their own penalty area, and Tottenham now applying a little bit of pressure in the final third. And Stevens clips the ball down the line. Sheffield United working the ball nicely enough. McGoldrick plays it really intelligently. Oliver Burke steaming into the penalty area on the left-hand side. Oliver Burke tries to flick the ball back, but in the end, McGoldrick does get the touch. Bogle now gathers for Sheffield United. McGoldrick wanted it as well. Comes to Fleck. Fleck might fancy the strike and goal. Instead, fizzes it to his right-hand side. Bodies inside the penalty area now for Sheffield United. McGoldrick works it really well. Cutback's neat and tidy as well. And Ndombele was back there, though, for Tottenham. And in the end, just the sheer weight of numbers from Jose Mourinho's men managed to alleviate the danger. Here's Fleck. Sheffield United working it neatly enough. McGoldrick will fancy the strike on goal, but it fades over the crossbar.
Well, it's better, isn't it?
Yep.
That is really good from the Blades. Arguably, best passage of play from both teams in the game. They moved it, they shifted it. Lovely little ball into McGoldrick here. He plays it round the corner. Cut back. Oh, and it's a good strike. They had to get out and block it. I think it was Ndombele that got in the way of an Ender Stevens strike. But much better from Sheffield United.
Corner kick for Sheffield United. Trying to find and establish a passage back into this game. Corner kick is swept in. Hugo Lloris with a very comfortable claim indeed. The Frenchman considered and indeed does launch the ball up and away early. It's a lovely first touch actually from... referee should have played on. He really should have done, because Son was scampering after the ball after Bergwijn had been fouled. There is a yellow card being brandished by the referee, but the referee's got that wrong, I think, Evan.
Yeah, definite yellow card. What a touch. Lloris, long clearance from a wonderful claim. And look at this for a touch. Brilliant from Bergwijn. And Lundstrom brings him down, but if Andre Mariner would have just kept that whistle out of his mouth for an extra couple of seconds, Son was 1v1.
Effort on goal is tipped over the crossbar by Ramsdale. Strike from distance, Ramsdale equal to it. Harry Kane having a pot shot from range with just shy of 50 minutes played.
Yeah, he doesn't need asking twice on his left foot. Look at that. Great strike. Quick free kick. Both feet Harry Kane. Brilliant. Probably going to go over the bar, but Ramsdale helps it on its way.
Corner kick for Tottenham. Seeking a third goal in the contest. Højbjerg, Aurier, Dyer and others tussling for position. Son on the right hand side raises his right arm in way of a signal. Son sweeps the ball into the penalty area. There's a massive cluster of bodies in there. Referee will do well to dissect a decision out of that one. In the end gives a goal kick.
Well, Harry Kane protesting that it's a corner, but Son puts in those deliveries, doesn't he, with so much pace towards that near post. And as we look at it again, it is indeed
comes off Egan,
John
maybe,
Egan, that heads it off the pitch. I'm not quite sure why Andre Mariner can't see that.
Goal kick then launched towards McGoldrick. McGoldrick flicks it on. Plenty of Tottenham players back there though to bring the ball away. Reguilon, well, he's quick, but he's not that quick. Nicked the ball 30 yards in front of himself, and eventually Sheffield United come away with it right on halfway. Flick forward towards McGoldrick. Oliver Burke was also lurking, trying to establish a position. Comes through though to Hugo Lloris, and Tottenham will build again. Tottenham in possession just outside their own penalty area. Hugo Lloris gathers the ball within the comfort of his own penalty area. Left-footed, wedges it out to the left-hand side. Højbjerg gathers once more for Tottenham. It's all very comfortable for Jose Mourinho's side.
Yeah, patient, aren't they, Spurs? Just playing it around the edge of their own box, just waiting for that half a yard bit of space that they can find. Højbjerg to link play up. Harry Kane's in a deep area. Just very patient football.
It's the kind of football, perhaps, Kevin, that I know they're playing away from home today, but at home you just feel as though that kind of collective noise from the crowd would sometimes change things and force them to go forwards slightly earlier as Son tries to latch onto it. Ramsdale comes out of goal. It's all a little bit scrappy. There's big appeals for a penalty, actually, from Harry Kane, who's asking the question of Andre Mariner. Ramsdale, though, content with his decision to come out, and the ball is out of play for a throw.
Yeah, I'd like to have another look at that. Son getting across. Ramsdale takes his eye off it, don't collect. Not sure there's enough in it, but he's got his arm up, Ramsdale, hasn't he, into Son.
Son appealed away inside the penalty area. Ball kind of skipped up off the goalkeeper. I don't think it's a penalty, but perhaps worth a half-hearted appeal. Tottenham in possession again. Aurier with the touch towards Ndombele. Given away there in Sheffield United. Gather. Goldrick on halfway. Norwood goes to his right-hand side, and Lundstrom cutting in field, seeking a bit of support. Might find it in the form of John Fleck, but instead goes wide towards Ender Stevens. Ender Stevens now to Fleck. Ender Stevens will cross the ball, or attempt to cross the ball into the penalty area. Comes off Aurier, and Ender Stevens will come again. Flick forwards into the penalty area, and Fleck just shepherds the ball out of play for a corner kick for Sheffield United.
Yeah, it's better. It is better from Sheffield United. They've got to be careful though, because they're committing bodies forward, and Tottenham have caught them a couple of times, haven't they, with a real quick counter. So they've still got to be careful whilst trying to get back into this game.
Corner kick clipped away by Tottenham. Son tussling for it. Fleck goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, with one or two Tottenham players sensing blood. Ramsdale launches it up and over halfway. Højbjerg was tussling for it, but gathered by Ender Stevens, and now Fleck right on halfway for Sheffield United. Now Ampadu cuts inside. Norwood, who was booked in that first half, slips it through towards Lundstrom has got an option or two to his right hand side, one of which is McGoldrick. McGoldrick wants it back and gets it back. He's got Norwood inside. This is tidy enough from Sheffield United, or certainly was initially, but Tottenham quickly transitioning defence into attack, and Harry Kane's got space on the right hand side. He's got 3 options inside as well. Harry Kane's just outside the penalty area, nicely worked into the box towards Bergwijn. Bergwijn has got Harry Kane as an option inside, might come once again to Harry Kane. Harry Kane is left foot, Harry Kane lifts it over the crossbar.
Well, it's what we were saying, wasn't it? Sheffield United, expansive in possession, they make the pitch big, but when they give it away, Dave, they're all over the place, aren't they? And literally, that was 3v1 at one point. Harry Kane just couldn't get the right ball across, could he? And then he ends up trying to feed it into that far top corner on his left foot. But Sheffield United, they're throwing bodies forward, but like we say, you feel that Spurs could catch them on a counter.
Harry Kane this season with 19 goals in 27 games, including this one, across all competitions. 12 in the league now for the England striker. 55 minutes played. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 2. And Tottenham nearly gathered possession in the form of Son. Instead, John Fleck will move the ball away for the home side. Fleck's got Ender Stevens on the left hand side. Ender Stevens certainly peeled wide, keeps it in play though. Ender Stevens flicks it back towards John Fleck and off and Dobbele and out for a throw in.
It's like a basketball match at the minute, end to end stuff.
Ender Stevens once more crosses the ball into the penalty area, headed away towards Harry Kane. Harry Kane, slightly more industrial, scoops it up and over halfway. Sheffield United's back in possession, right on halfway. Ampadu with a searching ball, looking for Oliver Burke. Can Oliver Burke keep it in play? Yes, he can, on the left-hand side, near the corner flag. Oliver Burke wanted it back inside to him. Lundstram instead goes to the edge of the penalty area. Lundstram once more on his right foot, fancies a strike at goal. It just drifts past the upright. Might have been a cross in actual fact. Either way, Hugo Lloris saw it wide.
Yeah, cross shot. I think he's just trying to put that into a dangerous area. But having a little bit more joy, the Blades. 56 on the clock. Much more even contest than it was in the first half, I think.
Sheffield United need a couple of goals to get anything from the game. Only 56 minutes played though. Tottenham in possession. Back with Hugo Lloris, who's seen plenty of the ball in this game. Hugo Lloris pings it out to his right hand side, and in turn Rodon launches it up towards halfway. Bergwijn. Back it goes though to Ramsdale in the Sheffield United goal. John Egan just outside the penalty area. Touch was from Fleck. Gathered now by Norwood. Norwood wanted a bit more movement in front of him. McGoldrick is peeled away to the left-hand side, as he has done with increasing regularity in this second half. Here's Fleck midway inside the Tottenham half. Fleck nudges it towards Ampadu. Now to John Fleck. Back to the Scots, and Fleck goes to his left-hand side. Finds Ender Stevens. It's neat and tidy though, this from Sheffield United, albeit they're not making any real inroads. Fleck now on the left-hand side once again. Clever touch from Ampadu. Ender Stevens wins the physical battle, and Ender Stevens on the left-hand side has got an option now to fist the ball into the penalty area. Scooped away for a throw-in for Sheffield United, but more promising signs for the hosts.
Yeah, good player Ender Stevens, isn't he?
Yep.
Down this left-hand side, you feel that he might be one that they struggle to keep hold of if they go down.
Fleck fires the ball into the penalty area, and McGoldrick meets it, and Sheffield United have a lifeline. It's a lovely cross, beautiful delivery, carved into the box, and McGoldrick rose highest inside the confines of the penalty area, and it's Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 2. Game on, Kevin.
Absolutely game on. 58 on the clock. We said they was having a much better spell. They've worked it well. It's a great cross. David McGoldrick gets across the front. I think it's of Ben Davis, and it's a glancing header. It's a wonderful delivery, and Lloris can only watch that go into the far corner, but a brilliant ball in from Fleck, great header from McGoldrick, and all of a sudden they're back in it.
Straight away at the other end, the ball has gone out of play for a corner for Tottenham, and Tottenham, who in the early exchanges of the second half looked pretty comfortable, but all of a sudden things change so quickly. Corner kick for Tottenham now with just shy of an hour played. McGoldrick's goal bringing Sheffield United back into the contest, and Chris Wilder shouting one or two things at his players from the touchline. Half an hour left to play.
Now we've got a game on.
Absolutely. Corner kick then for Tottenham. Tottenham who have thrown away so many points from leading positions in the league recently. Son set piece into a good area. McGoldrick, the Sheffield United goal scorer, gets it partially clear. Son sees it out of play for a throw-in for Tottenham.
Yeah. An hour gone. You don't like to say it, but are we seeing a familiar pattern again? And if it happens again today, I'm not saying it will, and Sheffield United get back into this, I think serious questions may start being asked.
Aurier with the throw for Tottenham. Just level with the edge of the Sheffield United penalty area. Tottenham will reprocess the ball. Eric Dyer right on halfway. When you say questions asked, Kevin, you mean because if you keep making the same mistake, does it become just more of a psychological thing where, Tottenham are conceding or losing all these points from winning positions, and if Jose Mourinho can't fix that, then questions should be asked?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It happens too often. They come firing out the blocks, Tottenham. How many times have you seen brilliant first halves from them?
Yeah.
And then it just peters out, and they get deeper, and they get deeper. They show a lack of attacking ambition, and they allow other teams to get back into the game, which they're doing here.
Tottenham gather the ball. Harry Kane feeds it to his right-hand side, and Aurier's inside the penalty area. Was trying to cut the ball back, I think, towards Ndombele. Didn't quite come off. Sheffield United gather, and suddenly there's a different energy about this game. Tottenham will really want a third goal now to re-establish a bit of breathing space. Clip forwards into the penalty area towards Ndombele. Ndombele with a touch. Ndombele with a quite splendid goal. And Tottenham do re-establish the 2-goal cushion in Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3. And it's a really precocious finish for Jose Mourinho's men. And once again, Tottenham in the driving seat.
Well, I have to say, that is simply outstanding. They win it back in the middle of the pitch. Bergwijn, it's a lovely little ball, and he continues his run. Look at that. It goes on the outside of him, and Ndombele. But that is what you would class as cheeky. Good play from Spurs. Sheffield United give it away in a dangerous area. It's a lovely scoop ball from Bergwijn. It comes over the left shoulder of Ndombele, and with the outside of his right foot, he hooks it into that far corner, and Ramsdale has no chance whatsoever. It is pure quality from Ndombele.
Looped into the penalty area on Ndombele's left-hand side. He had one glance to his left to establish exactly where the ball was, then right-footed, outside of his right foot, he's just flicked the ball. Pure instinct, really, Kevin, to be so aware of what surrounds him and where the goal is. It's a splendid goal, and Tottenham lead 3-1.
All that is knowing what's around you. As that ball drops over his left shoulder, he knows Ramsdale will be coming across to cover that near post. He knows where the goal is, and he knows what he wants to do. But it's all well and good knowing what you want to do. To actually have the ability and the technique to carry it out is something different.
Frustration, though, for Sheffield United, because just at a point where McGoldrick scores to make it 2-1 with a big chunk of the game left, not to get through that little passage to put a bit more pressure on Tottenham will be really frustrating for them.
It will be. Once you get back into the game and you're 2-1 down, don't chase it so quickly. They give the ball away in a dangerous area. It was their own fault. They were masters of their own downfall there, but what a fabulous finish.
Oliver Norwood stands over the set piece for Sheffield United. 63 minutes on the clock. Tottenham have re-established their 2-goal cushion. Floated into the penalty area. There's one or two squeals of anguish inside the penalty area. Harry Kane in amongst it and just opens up his palms and asks a question or two of the referee. A couple of bodies down inside the area as well. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3.
Yeah, I think he's just got one in the back there. Is it Bogle?
There was a cluster of bodies inside the penalty area. The ball was scooped up just outside the 6-yard box. So a bust challenge from Ben Davis. A fair one, though.
Just winded himself there, Bogle, I think.
It's back up on his feet. And Purdue also involved. There's a couple of players down inside the penalty area. Both back on their feet now, though. And Sheffield United, Kevin Summer, have got to find the motivation to kind of brush off that third Tottenham goal and start again, as it were, trying to peel 2 goals back into it.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed. Chris Wilder will be disappointed. You're back at 2-1. just remain firm and keep your shape for 5 minutes. But as I say, they give the ball away in a dangerous area on their edge of their own box. But it was still brilliant play from Bergwijn first, and then Ndombele with that wonderful finish.
Hugo Lloris launches the ball up into the afternoon sky. Harry Kane was underneath it. Bergwijn was tussling for it too. Tottenham with plenty of bodies forward. Basham scoops it away. Eric Dyer, though, has time to deal with the threat at the back for Tottenham, and Hugo Lloris playing triangles outside his own penalty area. Eric Dyer now on the left-hand side, cleverly worked in towards Ndombele. Tottenham working the ball neatly enough inside their own half. Harry Kane just momentarily comes short, doesn't go to him though. Instead it's played towards Ndombele. He wants the ball at every available opportunity now. You can understand why after a really audacious finish to make it 3-1 Tottenham.
He's got a lot of ability, Ndombele. Now when he first came last season, I didn't feel he was fit. He was probably carrying a little bit too much weight, but he's much sharper now. He possesses undoubted ability.
Tanguy Ndombele scoring his third goal of the season. Tottenham with bodies forward once again, including Son inside the penalty area, and there's a collision at the back between Egan and his goalkeeper. Bogle, though, will bring the ball away, or rather launch the ball away for Sheffield United to pacify the danger. Bit of a lack of communication in the heart of that Sheffield United defence.
Yeah, dangerous ball in, but you feel that Ramsdale's got to give a louder shout, and he did that.
Ndombele with the touch off. Tottenham with possession just outside the penalty area. Harry Kane dropping slightly deeper, finds Hojbjerg just outside the centre circle now, rolls his studs over the ball, finds Harry Kane 5 yards to his left hand side. That's a really clever idea from Harry Kane to flick the ball in towards Bergwijn. Didn't quite come off, but would have been really cute.
Yeah, again dropping into that deep area. Such a good passer of the football as well as being an outstanding goal scorer, Harry Kane.
Kean Bryan's the player who's going to come on for Sheffield United. Returned as an unused substitute. Norwood's the player off. First substitution of the contest then that Chris Wilder makes. Just going to say Kean Bryan returned as an unused substitute in the last 3 Premier League games, having missed previous 4 with a calf strain. First substitution from either side in the game. Hugo Lloris left-footed, sweeps the ball up towards halfway. Son was lurking, but Sheffield United regather possession. Tottenham, though, increasingly biting in and wanting to win the ball high up the pitch. You can sense that Son, Kane and others got a sniff for more goals in this one. McGoldrick and Eric Dyer tussling for the ball. McGoldrick penalised and just tries to make his case to the referee. It's just that Brewster's going to come on as well for Sheffield United just a minute after their opening substitution. Tottenham, though, in possession. 67 minutes played. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3. Hugo Lloris with the ball inside his own penalty area. Flicks it up and over halfway. McGoldrick tussling for it, but once again Tottenham with the ball. Hojbjerg just peered over his left shoulder to assess the situation around himself. Clips it to his right hand side, and really with 68 minutes on the clock, Kevin, it should be comfortable from here for Tottenham.
Yeah, it should. The third goal's just settled them down, hasn't it?
Yep.
It came so soon after Sheffield United's one, and you thought that Sheffield United back in it has probably put an end to proceedings, I would have thought.
Harry Kane's 35 yards out. He knew he was going to take the strike on. Came off a red and white shirt. Tottenham back in possession inside the centre circle. Just fed round the corner to the right-hand side, and Ndombele. Serge Aurier scored the opening goal after 4.5 minutes with the touch for Tottenham, and it's all very tidy. Some neat triangles from Jose Mourinho's men, at least neat and tidy until they give the ball away. Eric Dyer in possession once again for Tottenham. Now Hojbjerg into the feet of Harry Kane inside the centre circle. Harry Kane with his left foot just curls the ball out towards the left-hand side. Tottenham coming forward once again. Son couldn't quite make the connection he wanted on the ball, and McGoldrick turns his man Davis with considerable ease and wins the throw. Well, McGoldrick scoring for Sheffield United to make it 2-1, and at that point, Kevin, it really was set up from a completely neutral perspective to be a grandstand finish, so those of a neutral persuasion will be Well, I was going to say they'd be frustrated to see that third goal, but the pleasure with which it gave, because it really is an incredible goal from Ndombele.
Yeah, just a shame that we've got no fans in here to see it, because I think even Sheffield United supporters would appreciate that skill.
Sheffield United in possession on the edge of the penalty area. 40 yards from goal now. And Ampadu in towards McGoldrick with another striker goal. This one's very, very comfortable indeed for Hugo Lloris.
They've been okay, Sheffield United. I mean, when they scored their goal to make it 2-1, they'd had more possession of the ball.
Yeah.
I think 10% more, 55 to 45. And we're arguably the better team. But once you get back in it, they've got themselves quickly back out of it again, haven't they?
Tottenham cruising. 20 minutes left to play. So Jaurier on the right-hand side. Two-touch football from Tottenham, and Eric Dyer has plenty of time to bring the ball up out of defence and to the edge of the centre circle. Overcooks the attempted ball towards Reguilon, and the substitution will now take place. The second substitution of the game for Sheffield United, and Brewster is the player who's going to come on, the 20-year-old for the home side. Oliver Burke is the player he replaces, and the youngster is on the field of play. It's a club record signing from Liverpool. Yet to score a Premier League goal. Does have banks of ability though, Brewster. Sheffield United with the throw, deep inside their own half. Son applying the pressure, and Ndombele's underneath it. Bergwijn gathers just outside the area. 2 touches from Bergwijn, and Tottenham regather possession. Harry Kane sliding in, successfully so, on a clean chunk of the ball. Tottenham back in possession inside the centre circle.
They're just dictating the whole pace of the game again.
Comfortable indeed for Jose Mourinho's men. Win would take them to within 3 points of the summit of the Premier League table. Of course, Liverpool against Manchester United to come. Eric Dyer fizzes the ball in towards Ndombele, and Ndombele, that's cleverly worked. Son is scampering away. Son clips it to his left-hand side. Couldn't quite get away from it though, Son, and Bergwijn twisting and turning on the edge of the area. Feeds it to his left-hand side. Now Harry Kane inside the penalty area. Harry Kane trying to slalom his way through. Stabbed away to the edge of the box. Rather a miss-hit, bit scrappy in the end. Sheffield United hoisted away to partial safety.
Again, they just turn the screw when they want at the moment, Spurs. They're looking after the ball, they're keeping it, they're making Sheffield United run, and all of a sudden you get on a half turn like this and they're in business again.
Tottenham once again with Reguilon. Jose Mourinho so far resisting the temptation to introduce any substitutes. Tottenham in total control. Højbjerg with the touch. Inside towards Eric Dyer. Dyer just turned 27. Eric Dyer goes to his left-hand side. It's all being played in second gear at the moment for Tottenham. Ben Davies fires it in more direct now towards Son. Son nods the ball off towards Harry Kane on the left-hand side. Højbjerg gathers 35 yards from goal. Everything's to his right-hand side, including Bergwijn, but Bergwijn just about loses out, and Sheffield United in the form of Brewster are scampering away trying to make things happen inside the Tottenham third. Lundstrom with the touch now for Chris Wilder's men. Basham also involved. Eventually the ball scooped up towards McGoldrick at the back post. Goes beyond everyone though. Goal kick Tottenham.
Another waste. Yeah, David McGoldrick gives Lundstrom the thumbs up. But I don't think I'd be doing that. He's under no pressure, Lundstrom. And he's ballooned it out the far post and off the pitch.
Pretty generous thumbs up from Sheffield United goal scorer David McGoldrick. Another substitution for Sheffield United. Looks as though Sharp's going to come on for the home side. Sharp, who scored, of course, Sheffield United's winner against Newcastle. Billy Sharp, 34-year-old, is on. Basham is off. 3 substitutions made by Chris Wilder.
Well, he's putting forward players on Chrissy Wilder, isn't he? He obviously can see a way back.
Billy Sharp.
Well, he definitely knows where the goal is.
Absolutely. Scored his 100th goal for the club with that winner against Newcastle. Gathered by Højbjerg, who goes down, wanted a free kick, and the referee's pretty sympathetic to the request. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3 remains the score. So Jorge opening the scoring for Tottenham on 4.5 minutes. Harry Kane doubled the advantage before McGoldrick scored to make it 2-1, and a lovely finish from Tanguy Ndombele to make it 3.
We could get a very entertaining last 15 or so minutes, I think, Dave, because Sheffield United have got 3 forward players on the pitch now. So they're going to push bodies forward, but will it leave gaps at the back? Could be quite open, this now.
Certainly Sheffield United throwing caution to the wind. In turn, Tottenham got bodies forwards, and the ball is out for a corner kick for Tottenham. Swept into the penalty area from Reguilon, who's played well today. And Brian, the substitute, scoops it away. Miskicks it away, really, for a corner kick for Tottenham. 75 minutes on the clock then. Tottenham leading 3-1. Harry Kane just lurking near the penalty spot. Eric Dyer too. Højbjerg's making his way into the penalty area. Serge Aurier's making a nuisance of himself. There's a real cluster of bodies inside the 6-yard box, which worked very effectively for Tottenham's opening goal. Son will take it, raises his right arm, right-footed from the left-hand side, fires it into the penalty area. It's scooped away with some degree of comfort, and it'll be a throw-in for Tottenham.
It's real good quality. He puts so much pace on it, doesn't he, Son? Those corners from either side, whether they're in-swingers or out-swingers, very difficult to defend.
Reguilon will take the throw. Harry Kane was offering for it. Son peeling away too. Goes towards Son, who chests it down towards Harry Kane, just 3 yards apart. Harry Kane utilising the greater space on the pitch now with Højbjerg. Højbjerg to his right-hand side and Aurier. Serge Aurier twisting and turning. Wins a throw-in for Tottenham.
Harry Kane's been outstanding.
Yeah.
He really has. He's such a clever footballer. He's not even that old, but he's already taken on the job of dropping into that deep hole, getting his team playing, but he knows where the goal is, he knows when to play deep, he knows when to venture further forward. Just an outstanding footballer.
If you only watch highlights of Harry Kane, you probably only see his work in the final third as he is here. Harry Kane feeds the ball towards Son inside the penalty area. Son's trying to find space to take the strike on deflection over the crossbar for a corner kick. But Kevin, certainly Harry Kane today dropping deep, dropping into the midfield at times, but it just works so effectively and he ties it all together so neatly.
Yeah, it does. But when he does that, you do need forward runners to take up the space where he has just come from. But Tottenham have that. Son does that. Bergwijn does that, and Ndombele does that. You have to have that understanding, which they all do, and it just allows Harry Kane to drop deep, get on it, very much like Wayne Rooney did towards the end of his career. But like I say, Harry Kane's doing it a lot younger than Wayne Rooney did.
Yeah, 27, still Harry Kane. Son with the corner kick on the right-hand side, feeds it into the penalty area, comes to the edge of the box, and Ndombele, whose strike is charged out. Tottenham, though, still in possession. Harry Kane gathers it by the corner flag. Attempted nutmeg from Harry Kane, just sandwiched out by 2 players in red and white. McGoldrick now has possession for Sheffield United. Referee gets in the way, and referee has a little chuckle and a wry smile and stops proceedings.
Good ball that from Andre Mariner. Putting Ndombele in on goal. He's laughing, he's having a little chuckle. But a new rule now. But the game stops, doesn't it?
What do you think about that rule?
Yeah, I guess that I think it's okay actually. If because it used to be that the ref was part of the field of play and you just play on off of him, whatever. But Sheffield United did have comfortable possession of the ball there, and it was going to a red and white shirt, so it just goes back to them.
Sheffield United in possession. They need a couple of goals now inside the last 12 minutes of the game to take anything from it. And Ndombele with a robust challenge. Brewster the substitute with the touch. Brewster wanted it back inside, and Son provided the block. Out of play for a throw-in for Sheffield United, and Purdue takes it inside towards Lundstrom. Sheffield United have the ball deep inside their own half, gathered now by John Fleck. Fleck feeds the ball slightly further up the pitch towards Ender Stevens. John Fleck once again in possession, just wedges it down the line rather hopefully, but instead actually it was Billy Sharp who was scampering after it, but the whistle had already gone. Just over 10 minutes left to play. Chris Wilder watching on. I don't think really, Kevin, should the results stay as it is, that Chris Wilder could have any genuine complaints, but might just be frustrated internally with his players, because after McGoldrick scores, there's the potential for a different narrative to be set. And it's one of those occasions where, I mean, it's all ifs and buts and hypotheticals, but if you've got fans inside the stadium, that makes a big difference. McGoldrick's goal.
Oh yeah, their tails would have been up, and that's where there is an argument that fans do affect games. I think we know they do. Coming here with, you know, Sheffield United have a wonderful following, and they'd have been right up behind their team.
Bogle feeds the ball down the line. Eric Dyer's very aware of what's around him, though, and just sees the ball out of play. Safety first from Eric Dyer. Throw in for Sheffield United. Remains Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. 10 minutes left to play. 5 bodies inside the penalty area for Sheffield United. Brewster is one of them, so too is John Egan. In it goes to the penalty area. Dyer stands tallest inside the box. And Sheffield United, though, might get another attempt. It's a touch from Brewster, which is cleverly worked. Comes now towards Egan, who scoops it up towards McGoldrick, but Aurier's underneath it. McGoldrick will pick up the pieces. McGoldrick, the Sheffield United goal scorer, feeds it towards the edge of the box. Tottenham, though, with bodies back there, appeals for handball against McGoldrick. Referee says no, and Tottenham will bring the ball away. It's cleverly worked by Bergwijn. Bergwijn goes to his left-hand side. Brewster, though, with a clever touch in, and Jayden Bogle, in turn, has space to work with on the right-hand side. Lots of space emerging for both teams now. Sheffield United wanted a free kick. Referee said no. Eric Dyer lifts the ball towards Harry Kane. Son also underneath it. Lundstrom, though, gathers. Flicks it towards John Fleck. Fleck twisting and turning inside the centre circle. Sheffield United trying to make inroads down the left-hand side now. McGoldrick gathers 2 yards in from the touchline on the left-hand side. Feeds it inside towards Ender Stevens. Stevens back towards Lundstrom. Everyone really behind the ball now for Tottenham. And they're looking just to preserve this 3-1 advantage. Sheffield United in possession on halfway. Collected by Brian, the substitute. Now Lundstrom looks relatively comfortable, though, for Tottenham. Fed into the penalty area. Might come now for Sharp. Made clean enough contact with it, but ultimately off target.
Yeah, good strike, wasn't it?
Yep.
Not too bad. 8 minutes left. Why not? Lundstrom dinks it into the edge of the box. Billy Sharp gets round and knockdowns. He probably thinks he should do better there.
He claps his hands together in frustration, because it fell nicely out of the afternoon sky for him. Just couldn't quite find the target.
Yeah, it fell nicely for him, didn't it, on the volley?
Tottenham then with a goal kick. Hugo Lloris will take it. Tottenham playing a bit of a game of cat and mouse inside their own penalty area. They've got 3 players within very close proximity of Hugo Lloris. McGoldrick's asking the referee why the game hasn't already started. Looks as though Tottenham are readying a substitution. It'll be Tottenham and Jose Mourinho's first substitution of the game. Eric Dyer loses out to Billy Sharp, in actual fact, on the edge of the penalty area, but the free kick goes in Tottenham's favour.
Yeah, he puts himself about, Billy Sharp, doesn't he? But he just nudges Dyer out the way there. It is a foul. But it just gives him a little bit more of a physical presence. He's not the biggest fella, is he, Billy Sharp, but really tenacious footballer, as well as having been a brilliant goal scorer throughout his career.
Lucas Moura's going to come on for Tottenham, perhaps in just a moment or two, though. Hugo Lloris feeds the ball out towards Aurier on the right-hand side. Tottenham looking to comfortably see this game out with the 3-1 advantage. Gathered now by Ben Davies, who strides up over halfway. Scott Reguilon to his left-hand side, feeds it back in field towards Ndombele. It's comfortable, this, for Tottenham. Eric Dyer just outside the centre circle, goes to his right-hand side. Roden inside towards Harry Kane, who once again drops deep. Harry Kane, who scored Tottenham's second goal of the game on 40 minutes.
Just wondering if Ndombele will actually see out a 90 minutes. He normally gets the right ump, doesn't he, when Mourinho takes him off, because he takes him off in most games.
Yeah, completed 90 minutes just twice in 25 Premier League starts.
It could be him, if Mora's getting ready. He won't be pleased.
Jose Mourinho, as many coaches are, a creature of habit. Ball skips loose, and Eric Dyer just rolls his studs over the ball and cuts back in field and goes down. Well, wanted a free kick. Referee says no. Throw in Sheffield United.
Yeah, Jose's not happy, and that won't be at the referee, that'll be at Dyer. He had ample opportunity to get that back to his goalkeeper there. Look, he's fuming.
It really is. Jose Mourinho sits back in his seat with a great degree of frustration etched across his face. Fleck now with the ball for Sheffield United. Home side need a couple of goals in just 5 minutes. McGoldrick peeling away for the left-hand side, wedges it inside just to the confines of the penalty area. Tottenham now with an opportunity to break away, but Bergwijn couldn't quite gather possession. Serge Aurier clips the ball infield towards Højbjerg. Højbjerg gives away the ball fairly cheaply, and Sheffield United back in possession inside the centre circle. Gathered now by Ender Stevens. Ender Stevens sliced the ball through towards McGoldrick. McGoldrick half considered the strike at goal, instead cuts back in field, and McGoldrick towards Fleck. Fleck wanted the handball to be given. Referee says no. Harry Kane has the ball and goes down, clutching his ankle. Will be a free kick as John Egan is penalised and shown a yellow card.
Yeah, he's made a couple of those rash challenges today, hasn't he, John Egan?
Yep.
And to me, that's... yeah.
It would be actually Bergwijn, the player, to go off for Tottenham. And Lucas Moura, I think, is the player who's going to take his place. Bergwijn just plodding pretty slowly off the field of play. Lucas Moura, the set of gloves on, comes on for the final 4 minutes for Tottenham, the Brazilian. And he's just one more goal to reach 50 league goals in European football. 34 for Paris Saint-Germain, 15 for Tottenham. Final few minutes of the contest then. Sheffield United in possession inside their own half. Fleck spins the ball out to his left-hand side. Gathered now by Ender Stevens. Had a play for a throw-in for Sheffield United. Ryan will take the throw. Had a play, though, once again for a throw-in for the hosts. Sheffield United in possession in the form of John Egan. It's got to be slightly more direct now. Time is of the essence if they are to produce very improbable. Once again, Egan in possession. All of this being played inside the Sheffield United half. McGoldrick trying to change all that, the Sheffield United goal scorer. McGoldrick looking for options, but just not too much, I should say, forwards in terms of movements which he could find, and Tottenham have gathered possession. Guillaume plays it towards Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura, well, he fizzed the ball with his right foot. Not sure he intended to find Son near the corner flag, but that he has done. And Son on the left-hand side. Son cutting in fields with great purpose. Just teased the ball back. Now it's gathered by Højbjerg, and Tottenham go all the way back inside their own half, and Eric Dyer, and in turn Hugo Lloris gathers the ball, and Tottenham striding now comfortably, Kevin, towards 3 points.
Yeah, they've bossed it since their third goal. I think they've been excellent at times today, Tottenham. Sheffield United have had their moments. It's all been too infrequent. They had their chance when they got back to 2-1 for me, and then conceded, not almost straight away, but not far off it. And that's literally been game over, isn't it?
Hugo Lloris wedges the ball with his left foot forwards for Tottenham. Lucas Moura trying to gather, and does gather. Lucas Moura, he's got options left, he's got options right, one of which was Son, who's a little bit frustrated, I think, that the ball wasn't played with greater haste towards him.
That's sloppy from Moura.
Yep. "89 minutes on the clock. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3. McGoldrick has the ball right on halfway for Sheffield United. Ryan now puts his studs over the ball on the left-hand side. This will be comfortable, though, for Tottenham to bring the ball away as we nudge towards the 90-minute mark. And Ndombele deep inside his own half. He scored that quite splendid goal to make it 3-1. It's a really unique goal, Kevin. That's what makes it so special.
Yeah, it's just clever. Great awareness. But like I say, here we go, Stevens.
Ender Stevens on the left-hand side, across the face of goal, comfortably gathered.
Like I say, you can have all the awareness in the world, but you've still got to carry out the technique. And it was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Hugo Lloris rolls the ball out to the left-hand side for Tottenham. Son with the touch inside the Sheffield United half, and Son just gets his chin up to see what's around him. Toucham and Ndombele, and Højbjerg goes to his left-hand side. We've surpassed the 90-minute mark. There will be 3 additional minutes to be played at the end of the 90. And Tottenham are very, very comfortable indeed. Aurier goes 5 yards inside. Good strength from Ndombele. Ndombele's got Lucas Moura in support. Instead goes for the step overs. Now finds Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura feeds it in towards Son. Referee correctly allows play to continue. Son lays it square. It's Harry Kane, and it really should have been 4 for Tottenham.
Well, that was brilliant football. Again, and Ndombele so strong in the middle of the pitch. Couple of step overs. Lovely reverse pass to Moura. He gets clattered, but not before he can get the ball to Son. Son into the box. There you go, Harry. Go and get another goal. But no. Sloppy from Harry Kane. Sloppy finish for once.
It's 3 points and a good win for Tottenham, but as Harry Kane is substituted, just as a wry smile on his face, he'll go to bed tonight thinking he's pretty frustrated with that.
Yeah, he should have hit the target there, shouldn't he? He thought he was coming off as well.
Yeah, he did. He started trotting towards the edge of the pitch. He might still be. So Harry Kane, he's not going to let that one go. There's a shake of the head from Harry Kane. There will be a substitution. In fact, it is going to be Son who comes off, I think.
Yeah.
And Son gradually leaves the field of play. Put in a good shift today, Son. Carlos Vinicius, the Brazilian, comes on for Tottenham.
Yeah, he's got about a minute and a half.
Lucas Moura with the touch right on halfway. Closing exchanges of the game. Harry Kane trying to gather on the right-hand side, tried to feed in, and Ndombele didn't quite come off for him.
I think even his goal aside, and Ndombele today has been the pick, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's been very good. Yeah.
Throw in then for Tottenham. Final 60 seconds of the contest. Aurier with the throw, touch towards Lucas Moura. Aurier with the step overs, and Sheffield United back in possession, but the ball skips and slides out of play for a throw in for Tottenham, just over halfway.
Have a sub for 30 seconds.
It's going to be another substitution. Well, if the ball goes out of play in the final 25 seconds of the game.
He's going to try and get Davinson Sanchez's appearance money, get him on the pitch.
Dealing in seconds now in the contest. Sheffield United with the ball and McGoldrick. And the ball does just dribble out of play, and here we go. Davinson Sanchez, the Colombian, is going to do very well to get a touch of the ball here. And with 3 minutes played of the 3 allocated minutes, Reguilón is the player that is coming off. Davinson Sanchez takes his place. Your thoughts about
Sorry,
that
Dave. I really don't understand it. It's time up.
Yeah.
Sheffield United are not going to score 2 goals. In fact, they're probably not going to score 1. They've not looked like scoring 1 for the last 25 minutes.
Sure.
So I don't get it.
It's not like anything could be gained from the player having those 10, 20 seconds on the pitch either. If anything, as a player, were you more frustrated? Did that happen to you often in your career?
No, I can't remember playing for 30 seconds, no.
And Ndombele feeds it forward for Tottenham, seeking their 4th goal of the afternoon. Might have to settle, though, just for the 3. Indeed they do. There goes the full-time whistle. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Sheffield United beaten at home. Tottenham Hotspur very, very comfortable in the end. Aurier scoring after 4.5 minutes to give Tottenham the lead. Harry Kane with a super finish to make it 2-0 on 40 minutes. McGoldrick, though, scoring on 59 minutes, a neat header to make it 2-1. At that point in the game, it looked really as though we were going to have a grandstand finish, but Ndombele's splendid goal made it 3. And that's how it finished at Bramall Lane. So let's have a listen now to the full-time highlight. Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3. Son set piece is delivered in, and Tottenham have the advantage. 4.5 minutes on the clock, and Tottenham have the breakthrough. Sheffield United sleeping, and Spurs take full advantage, Kevin.
It's Aurier, isn't it? Ramsdale's in no man's land. He gets across the defender, and that's all too easy, Dave. Spurs take the lead, and you look at that goal, and you think, no wonder Sheffield United are down the bottom of the table. It's poor defending.
Harry Kane now not shy of shooting. Harry Kane with the effort, and Harry Kane with the goal, and Tottenham double their advantage in quite some style. And you'd have to say, on the balance of play, the manner in which they've attacked, it is the least that the visitors deserve. Leck fires the ball into the penalty area, and McGoldrick meets it, and Sheffield United have a lifeline. It's a lovely cross, beautiful delivery carved into the box, and McGoldrick rose highest inside the confines of the penalty area.
Brilliant ball in from Fleck. Great header from McGoldrick, and all of a sudden, they're back in it.
And it's Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 2. Forwards into the penalty area towards Ndombele. And Ndombele with a touch. And Ndombele with a quite splendid goal. And Tottenham do re-establish the 2-goal cushion. It's Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3. And it's a really precocious finish.
That is simply outstanding. It's a lovely scoop ball from Bergwijn. It comes over the left shoulder of Ndombele, and with the outside of his right foot, he hooks it into that far corner, and Ramsdale has no chance whatsoever. It is pure quality from Ndombele.
So full-time Sheffield United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Alongside me today, former Tottenham midfielder Kevin Watson. Kevin, job done really for Jose Mourinho's side.
Yeah, they played well today, Spurs. They nearly threw it away, didn't they? They allowed Sheffield United to come back into it. Got back to 2-1 at that point. The hosts were playing really well and probably the better side, and you just thought, oh, here we go again. Tottenham sitting on leads and then conceding. But almost straight away they score the best goal of the game. Wonderful quality from Ndombele, and from that point onwards, when they went 3-1 up, they coasted the rest of the game.
What do you think will please Jose Mourinho most about the side? Was it the fact that they stamped out that kind of slither of hope for Sheffield United when McGoldrick scored with such immediacy?
Yeah, I think because they got the third goal really quickly, didn't they? And he would have been pleased with that. Whether it was by design or not, I don't know. But Sheffield United, masters of their own downfall, really, giving the ball away in a dangerous area around their edge of the box, and they got punished for it. And 3-1 probably flattered Sheffield United a little bit at the end.
Certainly Tottenham had plenty more chances. Anything constructive really to take away for this Sheffield United side? I mean, it was always going to be a difficult afternoon for them, despite the fact they came into this contest after picking up their first and only win of the season so far against Newcastle. What do you think Chris Wilder will take from this from a positive perspective, if anything?
Yeah, well, I think he's got to take what he's had from most games, which is box to box, they're okay, but in their own box they're conceding too many silly goals, like the corner we're watching back now, the Serge Aurier header, and at the other end of the pitch they need to take more care. The goal they did score was a fabulous goal, great ball in from Lundstrom, glancing header from McGoldrick, and they were back in the game, but it was all too infrequent from them today.
Sheffield United 1, Tottenham 3, the full-time score, and Tottenham, well, I mean, they came off into this game off the back of a few kind of patchy results, but their fans now will be thinking, such is the indifferent form at times of so many in that top 6, that they've got as good a chance as anyone really to challenge for the title.
Yeah, of course they have. They're only 3 points behind, and like I say, it's all if, buts and maybes, but if Liverpool go and beat Manchester United today, then there's still only 3 points in it. So what a chance, what an opportunity for all teams that are up there in the top 5, 6 at the moment.
What a big game that is as well. Liverpool against Manchester United, always a big game, of course, at Anfield. Let's have a look then at Jurgen Klopp against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Winning a football game and being against United, it's enough. It's itself. So there's not necessary that there's a special add-on. So we play at home against United and we want to win. So that's all we have to think about. There's no extra add-on in that game, because they're in the situation they are. They got the points. They deserve the points. They have so far, and we have ours. And the season is still a long way to go. So it's not really in it that we talk now constantly about if we win, we are ahead of them again, and then they are blah, blah, blah. How it looks in the moment with all how the football they play again. Man City is one game behind and is very close as well. So you have constantly to think about other teams. We don't do that. We just try to win our football games, and for this we need to perform on our highest level because United is good. They always were.
The next one is always the biggest. It's always the most important. Being, of course, where we're in the league, that just gives us more confidence, and it's a sign of, or an indication of where we're at. But the game against the champions, they've got an amazing record at Anfield. In the league, they haven't lost for many years. So of course, it's a great test for us. Can we go there and cause an upset?
Joel is close. Does it make sense now to throw him in a game with 1 or 2 sessions, which he didn't do yet, but today and tomorrow he might be involved. To bring him, I don't know. We have to see how we have to decide it then. You have to look at him, how he will train and how he looks in training, these kind of things. But we have still different solutions, and Hendo is for us very important in midfield as well. So, we just have to see.
For us, form goes out the window. It doesn't really matter if it's first or last game. You know, when you go to Anfield, it's a big game for the club, it's a big game for the players, for the fans. So I'm really looking forward to it because, of course, we are in a good moment of form at the moment.
Kevin, Liverpool is such an incredible record at home in the league over recent years, but potentially given their patchy form of late, no fans in the ground, Manchester United top of the table, they'll really fancy this.
They will really fancy it, yeah, and how times have changed since last season. If you'd have looked at it last season, you would have been thinking, yeah, all day long a Liverpool win. But the dynamic of the game has changed with the injuries, the form that Manchester United are in. It'll be an absolute cracking game, won't it? That's for sure.
We talked a lot about how open this title race could be and is as we approach the halfway mark of the season. Let me put you on the spot then, Kevin. Who's going to win it?
Oh, that is putting me on the spot. I'm still going Manchester City at this moment in time.
Just because of the strength of their squad and the players they have?
I just think they're gelling, they're coming together at the right time, they're playing well at the right time, should I say. When they're in full flow, they are very difficult to stop. And, you know, they're on a great run. All right, they're 4 points back, but like we say, they've got the game this evening against Crystal Palace where you're expecting a home win. I know games aren't played on paper, but, you know, I can't see anything other than a home win, and that'll put them bang in the mix.
Well, Liverpool against Manchester United coming up, and the much anticipated team news from Joe Shannon.
Well, the biggest fixture in the English footballing calendar takes on even more significance today at Anfield. The two most successful clubs in the history of English football currently occupy 2 of the top 3 Premier League places, separated by only 3 points heading into this mouth-watering meeting on Merseyside. The big news as far as the team news is concerned from a Liverpool perspective is that Xherdan Shaqiri starts a Premier League game for the first time since December 2019 alongside Thiago and Gini Wijnaldum in midfield. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain drops to the bench. That's the only change to the side beaten by Southampton last time out in the Premier League, which means Jurgen Klopp also opts for the same centre-back partnership that lost at St Mary's, with young centre-backs Reece Williams and Nat Phillips on the bench. Jordan Henderson and Fabinho will be the Liverpool centre-halves, with Joel Matip still not fit enough to make the squad. Alisson is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Alexander-Arnold, Henderson, Fabinho and Robertson the back 4. Wijnaldum, Thiago and Shaqiri in midfield. Salah, Firmino and Mane the familiar 3 up front. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's made 3 changes to the Manchester United side following their 1-0 win at Burnley in midweek, a victory that took them to the top of the Premier League table. Edinson Cavani, Eric Bailly and Nemanja Matic all drop to the bench. Victor Lindelof, Fred and Scott McTominay come into the starting 11. De Gea is the Manchester United goalkeeper. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw the back 4. Fred and McTominay holding. Rashford, Pogba and Bruno Fernandes behind Anthony Martial up front. It's the champions against the current league leaders, Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield.
That is the team news from Anfield, Kevin, and certainly when you look at the two 11s, you feel as though there could be goals in that. I suppose it's surprising that Shaqiri starts in that midfield three. Jurgen Klopp's hand is forced in terms of the centre-back. I know Jordan Henderson wouldn't play there normally, but he finds himself in alongside Fabinho. But certainly that front three plus Shaqiri, Thiago, Wijnaldum just holding a bit. It's exciting from Liverpool for going forwards.
Yeah, well, it always is exciting
Sure.
for Liverpool going forwards. But I look at it, and I look at the Manchester United team that are just clicking into gear at the moment and having a real purple patch. And then I look at the two centre-backs of Liverpool in Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. As good a players as they are, and I know Fabinho's played there quite a bit now, but that is two central midfielders playing at the heart of Liverpool's defence. That would concern me as a Liverpool supporter, and it probably does concern Jurgen Klopp as well.
How did you feel when you were a player and a central midfielder who's perhaps Jordan Henderson's greatest asset certainly isn't pace, was kind of shifted back there in a position he doesn't necessarily want to be in? Of course he'll do it for the side, but how did you feel? Did it always make you feel slightly more uneasy when you have players playing it out of position in your side, and as a coach as well?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's making the best of what he's got at the moment, Jurgen Klopp, and that is probably the best of what he's got, but it's just not ideal. It's not ideal, and it's, like I say, as good a player as Jordan Henderson is, he's not a centre-half. He'll fill in, he'll do a job. But I think with the firepower that Manchester United have, with the attacking threats they have on the pitch, it could be a difficult afternoon for Liverpool.
Look at the pace as well in that Manchester United side. If you're Rashford or Martial, Fernandes, you're going to be wanting to peel onto Henderson, really, aren't you?
They will. Absolutely they will. As soon as they know he's playing centre-half, they will. They'll play on him, they'll spin it behind him and get him in foot races with the likes of Rashford and Martial. And, like I say, he's an excellent player, and I highly rate Jordan Henderson. But is he a centre-half? No, not for me.
Are you surprised that Jurgen Klopp's gone there with Jordan Henderson? I mean, his options are limited, really. Could have stuck in one of the younger centre-backs that he's got, Nat Phillips, perhaps. But potentially in a game of this magnitude, despite the fact that Jordan Henderson isn't a centre-back, he felt like he didn't have an option to play one of the youngsters.
No, and he's probably just gone for one of his most experienced players to get him on the pitch and to play, because he's got a fantastic voice, Jordan Henderson. And you've heard that, especially in these lockdown times where there's no people allowed in the ground. You can hear him galvanising and organising everyone around him. He could have played a natural centre-half, which would have been a young lad, but he obviously feels that Jordan can do that role for him today.
When you, as a coach, play a player out of position, do you kind of try and adapt the whole team around that, or do you try and slot someone in